Hello everyone, welcome to AdiTrade. Today we are going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty analysis for Monday and just do a multi-time frame analysis on different time frames just to see how the charts are looking. What I have opened here is the weekly time frame of Banknifty. Now what I want to show you here is on a weekly basis we were in this kind of a channel until now. This was a pretty long channel, long in the sense it kind of started on Feb 8th, like last year 2021, and we retouched the top of the channel, like started forming a channel when we made the high, and then though we had only two touches on the top, two touches at the bottom, it was kind of a channel that was there. And in this week, last week, we have just made a breakdown of this channel. Now we'll have to see whether this is like a false breakdown or this breakdown could continue. Usually when we break out of a channel like this, right, we will get a good fall. The Bank Nifty can break, so we'll have to wait and see if there might be a possibility we might go retest even this channel and then fall or continue falling. We'll have to wait and see. But even on the weekly time frame, Bank Nifty is looking bearish. We are about to cross RSI below 40.42. So this is with the weekly time frame. We have broken one important channel. Now shifting down to our daily chart. See, before we see the daily chart, another thing that I want to show you is this is the monthly CPR that I've plotted. Now how you get this monthly, not the daily CPR that we use, monthly CPR. Right, on monthly basis we see this. Now how we get this is you'll have to go to indicators, type CPR. There are many indicators which give, like, see for example over here something called RBI banking which gives daily, monthly. So use such things, and I've filtered out only the monthly. See, it's not a done deal that what I'm saying will happen for sure, but most of the times it does happen, at least 60 to 70% of the time. Whenever the market turns, right, it turns at a monthly pivot on a bigger time frame, not intraday basis. I'm not talking, though we are doing analysis for Monday, just doing some multi time frame, other time frames as well, just to get the view in Bank Nifty. See, on the charts itself, you can see these are all indicators which is plotted. I have not marked the lines, right? See, in the month of December, when we got this nice bounce from CPR until the S1, the first line on the downside is S1, the black line is the previous month low. When we got this dip until S1, everybody thought we might even go down more, right? We got a bounce, and then the next month it was a narrow CPR. So again we went very close to the R2, made a double top and then fell. The best example of this is in February, the last month itself, when we went to monthly R1. Now everybody was saying Bank Nifty has come back to 39,000. We could see 40,000, 40,500. But see, the reversal came exactly on a monthly CPR R1. We reversed back and then we came down until the previous month low and almost S1. So on a higher time frame, when you say to check whether the trend is changing from a downtrend to an uptrend, we can also make use of the CPR pivots. And the examples are there, say. Now if you consider this month of November, see, we kind of like reversed from once the CPR broke on the downside, we were in a downtrend. Then we got this bounce from this monthly CPR, and obviously we made a new low, but we did get some kind of a bounce from this monthly CPR. Right? So when you backtest and see, most of the times, that's why when we hit this monthly CPR pivots, right, we need to be a little careful. See, in this month of August, when from CPR we went up, the market again reversed. It didn't continue the downtrend, but it reversed from the monthly CPR. And the same thing even on probably last year of July, when we went up, we kind of took resistance in this monthly pivot. And see, monthly pivot should be seen on a daily chart, because the chart is it'll be like so crumpled and messed up. For easier view, I'm just viewing it on the hourly chart. So all this type of moves, right, when you see on a daily chart, it will just be like a wick, right? So the point here is, whenever we come to a monthly CPR pivot, right, either the CPR, S1 or R1, we need to be a little careful. There is a possibility of the market turning. Now, we are just at the beginning of the month. We have a lower CPR ratio from previous month. It's not a wide or too narrow, it's a normal CPR. We have come till S1. Today is only March 4th. We still have the entire month, right? Almost 20 days of trading days are there. We have come to S1. Now we'll have to see whether this holds, or will we get a reversal until CPR and then probably get a dip, or this dip will continue on the downside and maybe we'll even see S2. And obviously this view is this down move. If the down move comes, it's not that it's going to come in a day. We have seen Banknifty moving 2000 points, but during that, like some kind of breaking news comes in, right, with respect to the war. But on a normal basis, it won't happen in a day, like probably a week or two. If we break this S1, probably will come until this monthly S2. Or see, when this price action came, right, I kind of was in a view that we might bounce back to the CPI. Obviously not yesterday itself, like probably in this week or next week we might get a small bounce after getting a dip for so long. But again, the on the hourly chart we could not break that low. See, we could not make higher low. We again came down. So again, my in 2-3 hours of time frame, how the view changes is like I had a view that we might bounce, but now after these two candles, we'll have to wait and see if this level breaks. Probably we might be slipping further down. So obviously we won't keep our intraday trades based on this monthly CPR, just to have an overall view of the market and when the trend can change. That is just using the monthly CPR. Now coming back to our daily chart, see, when we started falling over here, right, on this day, I did mention in my Cosmo feed group everywhere that we have a good support at this 40,000 region. We have taken support at 40,097. See, I'd share the same thing, okay, that 40,000 as a strong support based on price action and OI. We need to be careful. We kind of bounced off from the similar region, but the bounce also didn't sustain. Again, we had a sell-off, right, on Friday. So why this level as a very good support to see how many times we have taken support here? 1 in this region, 2, 3. This is the 4th time we are coming over here in probably 1 year. So we'll have to see if this holds or if this breaks. If this breaks, I'll be telling you the levels. Before that, I also want to show you another thing, that we had seen this kind of a head and shoulder pattern here. This was the head and shoulder pattern, and I did mention that if this level breaks, we could get the target is this entire head region, right? Exactly the target hit on Friday. Okay, we got a down move of 2,700 points from this breakdown neckline. But was this easily tradable with the war news around? No. See, we never got that confirmation, like a proper confirmation of this neckline breakdown, right? We got a huge gap down, and then this green candles came. So the price action was not good, but the chart pattern did really work out, right? Was this easy to trade? Did I trade this entire 2,000 points? No. But I would have traded if, say, we had got, let me just try and draw this. Now say if we had got a nice red candle like this, breaking this line, okay, nice red candle breaking this line, then yes, definitely I would have taken futures. I would have shorted in futures, kept this neckline as stop loss and half of this as my target, and waited and kept trailing stop loss. Because of this gap down, we could not do that. It was not easily tradable, but the chart pattern and the target really worked. Now we will come to our intraday levels. For now, we know that everybody can probably have this mark, that we know that this level is a very good support 40,000. If this breaks, right, we will see our intraday levels. For Bank Nifty. So first I'll start off with the trade possibility on the lower side. See this level where we have taken support 40,080. If this breaks, right, we could get a quick fall until this level of 33,400, either at the top of this gap or below this gap of 33,400. Even if that breaks, then a very strong support at 33,275. If we comfortably break this 34,000, right. Now, what is this gap? Why this target? I'll show you. I'm just shifting to an hourly time frame, so I'll be able to zoom out. See, we are in this region, 40, and there is one small intraday bounce type of a level over here. I'm going to mark that also and make it a little lighter line. I'll just make it a thinner line. See what this, when I say a lighter line, what it says is it can act as a good support or it can easily break it. So that's why I marked even this level. So if this, we are over here, right, around 40,000. If this level breaks, right, there is a gap over here which was created on 21st May 2021, right? So we could come down to fill this gap and then get a bounce, because this is we have got a nice dip and this gap is pending. So the moment we fill this gap, probably we'll get some nice intraday bounce on the upside. We will take confirmation from divergence and enter. And even if this gap breaks, this level we have of 33,290, and even if this is compromised, if that breaks, obviously not for Monday, like later on in the week, the next target would be the small gap over here and a target of 32,300. They're just extended targets, we're just marking and keeping. And we also have our CPR level as S2 over here. Now if I just hide all the markings, we have the CPR level of S2 over here and S3. But before that, see, now if S2 this breaks, right, at the end of this gap or this line, it's a good place to book profits, not wait until this S3, because most likely we'll get a bounce from here. If we break this 34,000 and 33,900, right, in this 100 points range, if we break comfortably, we will probably get to see this. Now this is just a possibility if we break this, right, but from this point itself on Friday we got a bounce, but the bounce did sustain. So we are going to keep this as a resistance zone, where in case we go up, we might face resistance at the previous day high. Even if that breaks, then probably at 35,300 or so, we might face resistance. And if we continue to go up, the next resistance is only at this level of 35,700. See, my overall view for March is we might touch this level of 32,000 before bouncing. Obviously not in a very short term, but will, just because I have this view, will I buy puts or short for long term, like monthly, on a monthly time frame or something, and said no, I'll be trading on intraday basis the bounce and the shorts, but I do have a view that we might hit 32,000 before bouncing on the upside. So for intraday levels for tomorrow, this is what we have. Let me see if we can make use of a trend line. We have this long term trend line, but it's a little far off, so I'm just going to, so we have this kind of this trend line that we can use, and that's it. When it comes to Bank Nifty, we'll be looking to short below these levels with these as a target. See, as of now, the global market ended slightly bearish on Friday. Let me just open the see, Dow Jones ended about 200 points, the European market ended heavily down, and our SGX Nifty is showing a gap down of 100 points, right? So we'll have to see if this sustain, like if this gap down is going to continue the same level, like 100 points on Monday, or if this gap down is more, if say something worsens over the weekend, right, like all this down move came because of the nuclear power plant attack news. So if some of the news comes and if we end up getting a big gap down until this point of 33,500, we might get a bounce from here until the CPR or any of these levels that we have marked. So we'll have to be careful even on that side. Now coming to Nifty, see, these are the levels that I marked for Nifty. Exactly, we took resistance over here where we had this resistance line. When we got this up move, the day's gap also got filled in Nifty. And then again we had a dip. So in Nifty, the next shot is if this level breaks 16,000, where we might be probably breaking it in the gap down itself. Probably I'll wait for a retest to this level and then see if we can short. So if we break this level, the next level is about 16,036. Even if that is broken, we have 15,964. And on the upside, if this level breaks, right, we can make use of this R2, or we could also have some selling pressure in this level over here, 16,500. Now how I got this levels on the downside is, I'm just shifting to an hourly time frame to see the extended charts. So this is one place where we can face some support. If that breaks, the next support is here only, 15,960. Even if that breaks, right, even in Nifty there's one gap on the downside, which I think we might come to fill this gap. If not tomorrow, probably sometime next week, or before we get a bounce on the upside, we might fill this gap before we're getting a bounce on the upside. So this is something that we'll have to keep a watch on, this level of 15,889. Yeah, and we'll just see the open interest now for both Nifty and Banknifty. See, Banknifty, we have some resistance a good resistance at 35,000. See this level, even though 34,500, some put sellers are there positional. The call, if you can see the change in OI, right, what happened on Friday, a lot of call sellers also have come in, and a very good support at 34,000. So it might be difficult to break, but if this breaks, we can definitely see a level of 33,500 if 34,000 breaks. And in Nifty, see, Nifty is looking a little more bearish than Bank Nifty because there are more call sellers here, even on the positional side. Then the put seller, the change in OI on the put selling is also hardly anything. The only support is 16,000, which could possibly break with the gap down, or if this breaks, yeah, it could possibly break, because the addition of OI on the put side is nothing, but only the call side people have added. Even positionally, people have shorted the calls. So we'll have to wait and see. Based on the OI, the Nifty looks bearish. See, in a downtrending market, right, when the market is downtrending, obviously if anybody can trade whatever they want, right? It's one's wish, one's money, one's trading platform. In a downtrending market, you get a good bearish signal for selling. You can go with heavy lot size and short, because most likely we will get a bigger move on the downside. In an uptrending market, always bet on the call side. Don't bet against the trend. That's what I would say. Now, in this daily time frame, right? In the daily time frame, we are below RSI. For the bounce to come, always watch for some RSI divergence. The moment we get some kind of an RSI divergence on a daily time frame, we could get a short bounce, because we have slipped continuously without making a new high from almost here, right? 38,000 we have slipped on the downside. So anytime a bounce could come, like not a bounce for a change of a trend, but some kind of a intraday or a pullback can come. That will be shown on the divergence, so we can be careful. But these are the levels for intraday for Nifty and Bank Nifty for Monday. So let's see how it goes.